Hi, I'm Jim Burns, and I have an idea. I'm here on Speak Out on the streets of Mountain View, California, and I have an idea of the best way to publicly fund public broadcasting and public access stations. The largest revenue stream in the United States that is untaxed is advertising. And if we were to put a 5% tax on advertising, that would raise over $10 billion a year that would go for community public access stations, and it could also teach media literacy classes through K through 12, because what's missing in the world right now is critical thinking skills. And media literacy is a way of teaching kids how to deconstruct what media that other people have constructed. But the idea of taxing advertising is right now when a corporation buys airtime from a major broadcast company, they pay no sales tax on the transaction. And a 1% tax would raise $5 billion a year. So think of all those halftime Super Bowl commercials. Those are going from corporations to broadcast companies with no tax. Now, the largest contributors to presidential campaigns in the United States are also media companies, and they also make the most money on the election cycles. So if you think about it, they're contributing money to both parties, and then they're charging them outrageous rates for the airtime they're having during the political campaign, right? So my other idea is that the 5% tax on advertising could also publicly fund presidential elections. And the reason that the presidential election is different than all other elections is because it's national in scope. So it means that it's the whole nation is the person's running. So like if you tried to publicly fund senatorial campaigns, well then each state has to be broken up, but a presidential campaign doesn't. And think about it, we could have people running for a presidential office who did not take $1 from any private corporation, private individuals, and that's only every 4 years. So then what you do is you say that presidential candidates can only campaign on public access stations. And so again, all this money, okay, public broadcasting stations is not the same as public access. Public access is so that you and I can have a voice and talk to the public mind in our communities. But I'm talking about beyond that. Let's go public radio. So, you know, I'm having a hard time talking here. We're just out on the street. But the truth is that we need media ownership limits. See, every media company, every person on TV is working for a private entity. So they're not free speech, they're paid speech. Howard Stern, Anderson Cooper, they could never talk to you about media ownership limits because they would get fired. See, they gave up their First Amendment rights because they're under contract. I can talk to you about media ownership limits because nobody's paying me. I'm just talking straight to you here on public access TV. And these are the things I want you to know. Tax advertising to fund media literacy classes K through 12 across the nation, to publicly fund presidential elections, and to publicly fund public access stations and public broadcasting stations. So thanks for listening today. Thank you very much.
Hey y'all, at KMVT, Tyler here to talk about some very important things. There's a lot going on in the world. 2016, 2017 has been very rough. But my best advice I give the world out there for all y'all listening is the most important person to fight for is the person in the mirror. Is wake up every morning and you gotta love yourself. You gotta, if you're fighting for things out there, you gotta fight for yourself too. And ultimately, your heart's got to be right at the plate. You got to be in the right place. You can't be there if you don't love yourself. So love yourself and love the world around you. And that's it for me.
Hey, how are you doing, television fans? I wanted to tell you about life after 60. If you have a job, I suggest you hold on to the job, because if you don't have a job, it's really hard to get a job. For instance, in my case, I have an MBA, 2 four-year degrees. I've been directors and all sorts of high-level positions, and I've been applying to, well, at least 67 jobs that I can count on. Went through 2 interviews, and you know age is a factor. So the key to you is, if you're approaching in your 50s, you better find a job where you can hold on to it, keep it, and don't let go until you're 65.
Hello everybody, this is Maria Pan, and I'm here at the Mountain View Arts and Wine Festival, September the 10th, 2017. And I want everyone to know that we are very concerned about the hurricane that's in Florida. We are very hot here right now, and we're hoping everything is fine. Not just Florida, but also in Texas. The recovery effort in Texas is also on our hearts. I want to thank this opportunity, thank the station, thank this country for this opportunity to speak freely. And I want to say that I am the Sunnyvale City Council member elect. And I know many people are tired of hearing that. I would like very much that our council can come to a decision to please swear me in, to please abide by the election code, and to swear me into office. This is a free nation, a democratic nation. And I want people to know that when I was a child, I lived in the war zone over in Taiwan, and I saw the troops that were over there in Taiwan. And I want you to know that this democracy was fought for. It was hard fought for. And thank you very much. And I look forward to serving this community. Sunnyvale, as well as they have state committees. So I look forward to serving this state. Thank you very much.
All right, there needs to be more Power Rangers team. We got to bring back the Power Rangers team. There hasn't been one since 2005, which was Dino Thunder SPD. This got to come back, guys. We have to start a petition of Power Ranger team-ups. There hasn't been one. The last good one, too, was actually Dino Thunder SPD. But we need to do the Ninja Steel and the previous one. We need to do Operation Overdrive and Mystic Force. We need to do Mystic Force and SPD. Jungle Fury and RPM, that would be a great team-up. Bring back the Power Rangers team-ups. That was it.
So every single town in the country is all about having some little old piece of history, some little tiny house that's insignificant in any way else except it happens to be the oldest piece of house in their little tiny town. Mountain View is doing the same thing with any individual house that's ancient and old, and it's just because it's old and nothing special at all about it. We should be the one city that doesn't do that. We should be the one city that's constantly looking to improve, that's never saying that old is good just because it's old. We should be the one single city that's always looking at better and better and better, looking for the future. We have Google, we have we have Facebooks, we have all of these different companies in here that are the future. We should represent represent that future and not save onto and hold on to every single old decrepit house just because it happens to be old. We should look forward, always better.